Beskar and blasters, frogs and snacks. You are now tuned in to the Disney Holic Show.
Hello and welcome to the Disney Holic Show. That's Mike TV.
And that's Jen Diz.
Today we're jumping into hyperspeed for all things Mandalorian and Grogu. From our review of the new movie to the latest park updates, merchandise, and galaxy-spanning surprises, this is the way! Okay, before we jump into hyperspeed, what's the difference? Is hyperspeed like what you're doing to get to hyperspace? Or are you
Hyperspeed.
hyperspeeding through hyperspace?
There you go. Hyperspeed is the motion, and hyperspace is what you go
Okay.
into hyperspace.
I just have never thought of them next to each other for some reason. Like the two words. I'm like, am I even saying this right?
Also, that's my
Okay.
own interpretation. I don't know.
No, I think that sounds
That
right. I
sounds
like
right.
it.
Yeah.
I like it. But before we do that, we are going to talk about some updates over at the parks. I
Yeah.
know recently, Mike, you got to visit Walt Disney World, and I've seen a few updates over at Disneyland too. So let's jump into it. First up at Disneyland, there's been some like small minor updates that I just am kind of excited about. So I want to talk about it and or like just want to chat about it in general. But first off is the app has been updated and it's again very minor changes, but I'm so obsessed with it. It just made my life so much easier. First of all, the little icons that show your tickets look cuter. Like they have little like designs on them instead of just like a pink bar with my name on it. It now has like some like stars and sorcerer looking stuff on it. It's very cute. Um, but the thing I love the most about it is that now when you're on your annual pass or your magic key, excuse me, it shows you on that same page, like right in the app, your upcoming reservations. Previously, you'd have to like go all the way to the reservations page, and then you would see that long list of you and anyone you're connected to, and then anybody that that person made a reservation for as well, all in this long laundry list of reservations that are coming up. So it'd be really hard to like navigate through that sometimes and find out what I actually booked and try to remember it. So now it's like right there on my app super quick. So I'm so happy about that. Um, I used to say like somehow my Magic Key got like initialized with all caps for my name, like my full name's in all caps.
Oh.
And the only reason I care is that it actually helps me find my name in the long list of people's reservations because it's like screaming. Like, okay. So that's very nice. And then another update going on at Disneyland is we officially have a date now that we are going to see park hopping rights for Magic Key holders removed. So not wait, not park
Rights?
hopping
Rights and
rights removed.
removal of rights? What's happening here?
Restrictions removed. So we are going to have all the rights as of June 9th. You no longer have to pick a park to start your day. You don't have to worry about 11 a.m. time before you can move to the other park. It's just going to be daily reservations and you can go to either park as you please. So excited to see that. That has kind of screwed me over a few times. So, and it'll make the reservation making a lot more interesting. I feel like there's been so many times where you're like really trying to get a specific day at a specific park. And sometimes they'll just be sold out, but you can get one for the other park. And then you start madly crazy trying to go in to get the reservation modified to go to the other park that you actually want to be at. So that's all going away as of June 9th. Very excited about that. I'm not exactly sure what that means for them cutting off attendance. I did think that was one thing that might be helpful. That we all know that the attendance at DCA, unless there's something special going on, is generally less. So like right now, if you make reservations, you usually can almost always get into DCA if there's something open. but it's a lot harder to get into Disneyland. So I don't know what that's going to mean. If they're going to cut it off earlier, hopefully not. Or if they just figured it out that like this doesn't actually make a big difference because it's only the first few hours of the day and then it's just open. So anyway, very excited about that. And then there's some updates within the parks as well. And one is that the walls are up for Coco. Like they've broken the ground back there and they have these walls up where they used to have this big gate that said Pixar Pier on it. And it has Pixar, I'm sorry, Coco like imagery on it. And it's just exciting. It's like, okay, they told us this a year and a half ago, and now it like feels a lot more real just seeing that little barrier with the design on it, right? Does that make it more real for you?
Yeah, like when I see people post, I think it's like Bio Reconstruct in those accounts, they post the satellite images and you could see it's all flattened and carved out right behind that wall you're talking about. So the footprint is there. And now we get a Coco boat ride pretty soon and it feels real for sure.
Yeah, it's very cool. They also put this weird temporary street down. Did you see that?
No.
Any of those images? It looks like this big long road that goes right down the middle of that area they paved out, and
Interesting.
it must just be temporary so they can move vehicles quicker
Construction
through
and
that
stuff.
area or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, but it looks really weird. I'm like, what is going on back there? Um, but speaking of areas that are not currently being used, Tomorrowland is finally reviving the Tomorrowland Theater, which that's just exciting. I was literally looking at it the other day, being like, dang, this is such a bummer that there's nothing to do in there right now. Like it was a hot day, and I'm like, I would have loved to just go hang out in the Tomorrowland Theater and see whatever special thing they're showing at the time. And so they are reopening it. They're going to be using it for Pixar shorts. Like, all right, we've already seen most of them. I think one of them is
Boo,
Luxo
boo
Jr.
hiss. I don't like this.
Yeah, I'm not excited about the content of it, but I do like that it's at least something happening in there versus nothing, especially with the summer coming up because it's going to be crowded and hot. So, another nice air-conditioned space to dive into, especially in Tomorrowland. There's not a lot of coverage over there. So, I'm excited about
I'll
it.
be curious if people go because the one at Epcot is just always empty, no matter how hot it is. Because it's like we've all seen these shorts, or you could watch on Disney
Yeah.
Plus or whatever.
I mean,
You know what I did like?
huh.
The Skywalker thing that was in there for a while. I don't think
Yeah.
it shouldn't have been there long, but that was a little interesting because it made you feel like you got to see the whole saga in like 15 minutes or
Yeah.
something.
It's like it reminded me of those YouTube videos where they like tell you, oh, the whole Star Wars Skywalker saga in 7 minutes or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen it, you can go watch it and learn it real fast before you enjoy the park. Um, yeah, I don't know. I feel kind of the same about that as I felt about any of this other
Yeah.
extra stuff. And when they do like trailers for upcoming movies, it's
Yeah.
like such a bummer that it's not something cooler. But again, I'd rather have it open than literally closed. So, all right, we need people eaters in that area, so that's good. And then next door at Pizza Planet, they're getting rid of mobile ordering. And this is the only reason I'm bringing this up. This mobile ordering was like kind of a mess. However, I will still mobile order like literally everything in my life if I possibly could. Um, so I'm annoyed that they're getting rid of it. I wish they would just improve it. It was just like I think that area was a order only location and since 2020.
Oh,
So like I wish they could have done a middle ground like they do at the rest of the places, like have the
yeah.
mobile order section and then the regular cashier. Um, but it's like I feel like we just keep losing mobile order locations. There's been quite a few. We also lost our mobile checkout locations at a lot of the stores.
What?
And
That's
I'm just like,
odd.
like I don't want that to go away. The convenience factor was so nice. And there is some pride about like passing up a huge line and getting your pizza. Like it just, there just is. Uh, um, and last but not least is Idlewise. Idlewise, I think is pronounced like a V, right? Idlewise.
Edelweiss is,
Edelweiss, there
I
we
only
go.
know that from the song in Sound of Music. Edelweiss, Edelweiss. I think he sings that when they're all escaping the
Oh,
Nazis or something like
oh
that.
shit.
Yeah.
Well, it's very cute because I didn't realize it was an actual Sound of Music moment.
Oh, yeah.
So Sound of Music has a thing in Disneyland. Kind of.
Nice.
We'll just say they do.
So it's like a
Um,
Swiss thing? What is that?
it's right by the Matterhorn. It's that
Oh, that
little
makes sense.
tiny like counter service thing, like a snack station almost. And they have like now a seating area next to it that's like bigger than the actual food location. It's like
Oh,
this pretty like good sized seating area, but I think it's really nice because it's right next to the water. You don't usually get to like hang out over there, but now they have a bunch of seats and tables, and you get to get your snacks over at Edelweiss and go have a seat and enjoy your meal, listen to people screaming on the Matterhorn the whole time. So
is it
pretty cute.
anywhere near that boat dock of benches and chairs?
It's yes, it's pretty close to that, but it's
Okay.
now like more on the land side. Like it doesn't go out into the water like that
Oh,
does.
okay.
It's like kind of right next to it actually. Not far from it at all. But
More
yeah.
seating is
So
always nice to have.
yeah, and I was like, why didn't we ever try the dock, for instance, for a podcast location? It's probably
Right.
real quiet back there.
So
Nobody's back
many
there.
evolutions of that smoking area, and then it was the Disney boats and the gummy bear boats, motor boats, and then
Yep.
it was like an ending for one of our scavenger hunts one time.
Yeah, yeah. It's like we can have a whole 500 people check in at this area. Like, if you can do that there, then we should have been recording
Right.
our podcast back there for sure. But I think now both of these options could be places that we can record it live in the parks. So hopefully we have a chance to do that
Live.
again sometime. All right. Well, that's my fun updates for Disneyland that I am personally excited about. What's going on over in Orlando?
Well, I moved away, what, 3 months ago and returned for a visit, and already there's so many new things all around Orlando and Disney World. So, very excited to bring back some of these stories for you. One of the things that I did, shout out to Joey and Nick, friends of the show, is we did a lot of lounge hopping, partly because it was very hot and we all had annual pass holder brain, so we didn't need to ride everything. It was also pretty crowded. It was like Memorial Day week. So we did a lot of lounge hopping. So at Disney World, we went to Villain's Lair. Wait, it's a funny long name. It's called Top of the Top of the World Lounge, a Villain's Lair, a Disney Vacation Club member lounge.
Oh, geez.
And when we
Is
went to it,
Nick
I kept saying the
also a
whole thing.
DVC member?
No, just me,
Okay.
and luckily you could bring up to, I believe, 5 people
Very
in
nice.
in there. So yeah, that was fun. We went up there. I got to see Beacon Barrel at Magic Kingdom for the first time, the Pirates Bar.
Nice.
Wow, 5 out of 5. This
Very
is
cool. Tell us
up there.
more.
It's I know you haven't been to the Haunted Mansion bar parlor on the Disney Treasure yet, but you've heard me uh go on and on about how cool it is. This is up there with that level of Imagineering. I would say it's up there like with Oga's Cantina as well.
Okay.
And I was just so impressed. Like I was like, what? My mouth was open. I couldn't believe that it was back there behind these doors, like next to the Pirates ride. It's pretty large. There's a lot of interactive things. There's a parrot named Rummy, like the booze, Rummy, and
Cute.
he comes out every few minutes and like does things and activates things and starts things and talks to you. And then all the cast members are in pirate gear and in theme, and stuff happens just like at Trader Sam's or something. Like stuff happens when you order certain drinks, and stuff happens just based on the atmosphere and the sounds you hear. And I do think it depends on where you sit. We got a really great spot in the center, so we got to look around and see everything turn on and turn off and all those things. But highly recommend, worth getting a advanced dining reservation for an ADR.
Oh, so you need one to get to that place.
Yes, you do
Is
need an
there any
ADR.
standby option?
There is no standby option as of now.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. How'd you guys get in?
Just kept checking, just kept
Wow.
refreshing for
Just
all
keep
these things.
checking.
Just
Just
keep
keep checking.
checking. We also went to Geyser Point, one of my favorite bar lounges. This is at Wilderness Lodge, which is one of my home resorts of Disney Vacation Club. So we went there. I got a charcuterie flatbread, which was like a flatbread pizza and different meats and cheeses melted on top in different places, like a charcuterie plate. I thought, oh, that's clever. I liked it.
That's cute.
Yeah, highly recommend if you like charcuterie and or pizza. Visited Territory Lounge. This was a first for me. Territory Lounge is also in Wilderness Lodge, and it's very chic and kind of bougie in a cool way, but not in an intimidating way. Like it felt like you were on like in an old bar in the Titanic or something. I'm not
Oh, I
sure.
would have not thought of that with
Yeah.
territory.
Yeah. Territory Lounge. It's like maps and things like that. Um, like the theming looks like that. So
Gotcha.
that was
It's
cool.
like
There's a guy
travelers
named
kind of bar or something.
Travelers. Yeah. Oh, exactly. There's also a bartender there, shout out, named Mike, from Toledo, Ohio. And he was just so cool. And he was family. Like he knew immediately that we're all the gays. And he was like just talking like not a cast member. I could tell we all got a little bit uncomfortable because he was so cool. What I mean by cool is the first thing he talked to us about for whatever reason was, "Hey, you guys from Florida? Do you have your marijuana card yet? I just got
Oh,
mine."
wow.
Yeah, he goes, "I just got mine, and oh my gosh, I went to the store and there's so many options. There's gummies and candies, and I just wanted just classic old weed." He kind of minded me of like a like somebody you'd meet in the Castro in San Francisco that has all the stories, like older gentleman. He also had a blue tag, so he was a legacy. And we're like, oh, he's
Oh,
been here so long, he could probably say whatever he wants. He doesn't care. They don't care. And he
right.
probably gets a lot of cast compliments. Like people were walking in and like saying hi to him, like people who were staying at the hotel.
Mm,
So he's one of those guys, really cool. So if anybody goes to Territory Lounge at Wilderness Lodge, look for Mike and say hello.
ask for Mike. I love
Look
it.
for Mike. Also went to the DVC Lounge in Epcot. We always love to stop there, get some chips and some Coca-Cola Freestyle machine beverages on a hot day. And then, aside from Disney World, we did a lot of lounge hopping at Epic Universe, which I didn't really mention too much last week, but we did Burning Blade, Oak and Star Tavern, which I had not been there before, even though I've been to Epic several times. It has a bar called the Plastered Owl, and they sing and they do live music. It's really great. Went to another bar there for the first time called Meteor Astro Pub, also fun, great bartenders. And then another place called Bar Zenith, which is one of those outdoor bars with shade where you can get like cosmic drinks. So yeah, I thought that was fun. I thought this was a good idea I wanted to share with people, especially if it's hot or if it's busy, if you have annual pass Magic Key Brain, or maybe you're with a bunch of adults who don't want to ride all the rides. Like lounge hopping was so fun, and it felt almost like being on a cruise ship, just going from one little lounge to the other and seeing some entertainment, getting some drinks, talking to the bartenders. Highly
Now at
recommend that.
Epic, is Burning Blade not in the park?
Burning Blade is the one where next to Monsters Unchained with the windmill that spins on fire.
Okay.
Yeah, that one.
Okay, so some of these are in the park and some of them are not.
Oh, they're all in the park. Oak and Star, Placer
Oh,
Out, Meteor,
okay.
Esther. Yep, all in
Gotcha.
the park.
I don't know
And
why I was thinking lounge. I think I was thinking like resort hopping, like when you're going to the hotels.
oh, yeah,
Just
yeah.
kidding.
Those are all in Epic proper.
Very nice. Wow.
Now, next thing I want to say was I am sticking to my word. I mentioned in a recent episode I'm going to become a pin trader, and I decided this was the time to do it. And it's so much fun. I totally get it now. And but I like to scheme, I like to have a plan and a strategy. So I'm not just going and buying these $30 pins, which is out of this world. So I went to Character Warehouse, and then I also went to Recycling the Magic, the thrift Disney store,
Hmm.
and I bought a bunch of pins, like ranging from $3 to $5. And then I put those all on my lanyard and then went to the parks. And my goal was to only trade with cast members so that I could talk to them and get a feel for it and look at their board. And that was probably the best part of it, was having a reason to like say hello aside from buying something
Yeah.
at a cash register, and always something to look for. And again, it's hot, so being able to go into every air conditioned store and like look for the pin board was always a nice little break. And then finding a pin that you like and trading it and not worrying too much about like what it could be worth or collecting all of them. It's just looking for one that you think is cute. So one of them I got this Donald Duck with red, white, and blue bathing suit sitting on a beach chair drinking like a margarita, and he looks kind of wasted, and it's officially Disney. So I think it's meant for July 4th, but it is perfect for Memorial Day. So I grabbed that. That was one of the pins I got. But one of the out of this world moments I've had was with this captain at the yacht club. So at the yacht club resort, when you walk through the lobby, every now and then there's like a captain. Also reminds me of the captain from Titanic. Like he's wearing full garb, but he's a cast member and he's in character. And I went up to him and I said, I like saluted him and said, "Hey, we're heading out, Captain." I just felt like doing that. And then I saw he had all these pins on his lapel when he turned around. And I was like, "Oh, can I actually look at your pins?" And he said, "Oh, well, I'm the captain, blah, 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 blah. I have pins that you might not find anywhere else on any other board." And so he like showed
Ooh.
his collar and his jacket had the backs of pins showing, so you couldn't see the actual pins. He pinned them in reverse. So I couldn't see what they were. And he goes, "If you want to know what's under here, you have to answer my 5 trivia questions."
Ah, I
Yep.
love it.
And he pulled out a deck of they looked like vintage Trivial Pursuit Disney cards, like maybe from early 2000s, 90s, because they looked really worn and used. You know, the little cards with the different colors for each category. And so he had me pick one of those, and I had to answer every one of the questions on there. And I got them all correct. Thank you very much.
Very
And he
nice.
showed me the little lapel, and he had a Zabulba pin that's almost the size of my palm. Yeah, I've
What?
never seen a pin that big. I it wouldn't even fit on my like lanyard thing
Especially of
properly.
him.
Yeah,
That's
especially of
random.
him. So very random, Star Wars, Pod Racer dude. And I was like, yes, of course I want that one. I was like, really? I was like, the whole thing? He's like, yeah, the whole thing, one for one. And I traded him like this really uh overproduced Olympics 2000 thing that I got from like for $3. And I was so happy to trade that for this giant pin. So yeah, so not only can you get really cool pins, but if you find the right people, they play games with you just to get the pin.
I like it.
So
Okay, you might actually have talked me into trying it out now. If I
there
could
you
find
go.
those people, be on a
Yeah.
hunt.
And I love the just the game of like getting stuff for cheap and clearance and then trading it for something cooler that would
Yeah,
cost
that's the
more.
safe part about going to cast members is that they don't, there's no like trade value involved when talking to
Yeah,
them. And there's
that's
also
so
no
true.
like weirdo issues of talking to regular pin
Yeah,
traders. Not saying they all are, but we know that there are a lot
they
that
are
are
there are. There was
awkward.
this one
Not that
cast
we
member.
aren't.
We're all awkward sometimes, especially talking to cast
Yes.
members and characters. There was one cast member who said, "Oh, I love doing the pin board because I'm shy and it helps me talk to guests." And I was like,
Aw,
"Oh, look, it's for both of us." I told her, I was like, "Both of
that's
us."
cute. I like
Super
that.
cute.
I
So if
love
you're
it.
thinking about pin trading anybody, now's the time. Just do it. 25th anniversary of pin trading.
I've
Uh,
avoided it for 25 years.
25
That's kind
years.
of a celebration right there. Oh
There
my
you go.
goodness.
And then I do have some park updates, sort of like you had park updates too. Speaking of the app, Disney World now has the reservation system in the app, similar to what you're saying Disneyland has. So you don't have to go out to another website and sometimes log in, which is nice. But that got us talking, the three of us that were out at the parks, about this new super app that Josh Damaro keeps talking about. So he's saying we're going to build a
Mm-hmm.
super app, and is this the beginning of that? We're like starting to finally see things get consolidated into one place. And in one point, it might just be Disney Plus, and then that also has your Disney park reservations for both coasts and your content. We'll see. Interesting, interesting
Yeah.
times.
Huh.
Huh. All
Huh.
right, so all four parks had new things, and I was excited to go look at all of them. So I talked about Soarin' over America, across America last week. So that opened in Epcot, is officially open now to the public. I also picked up my Woody and Buzz annual pass holder magnet from Epcot. So I like when I happen to be there and I don't miss it.
Right.
So that's very nice. Hollywood Studios getting glow ups left and right. So the Rock and
They
Roller
need it.
Coaster with the Muppets definitely needed. Rock and Roller Coaster with the Muppets is now open. I'm hearing the standby waits are like 2 to 3 hours, wrapping over to
Woo.
Tower of Terror. Uh, Fortunately, I was able to do it through the annual pass preview. So we had a boarding group, and the line was maybe 30, 40 minutes. Went pretty quick.
Very
I
cool.
believe I rated it a 4 out of 5.
Okay.
And keep in mind, I didn't really care for the Aerosmith theme.
Right.
right? It felt kind of dated. Even by the time I wrote it, it was like 2007 or something. So it already felt a little dated. So I didn't care for that. And now it's less about the roller coaster and it's fun because it's the Muppets.
Yeah.
That's what makes it fun. And I feel like if anybody liked the Muppets um 3D, not for the 3D show or technology, but because you get to hang out with the Muppets,
Hmm.
then you will probably still like this one.
Great.
Because even that Muppet Vision 3D was dated. Like, let's all be honest, it was
Right.
dated, and some of the technology was weird. So this is really cool. There were more audio animatronics than I expected.
Okay.
Do you care about spoilers? What are your thoughts on spoilers?
I don't care about
Okay,
spoilers on this one.
and I will say Disney Parks already posted all the things that I want to talk about, so it is what it is. But the two old men are back. They moved the animatronics and put them at the end of the ride. So when you're waiting to go into your turn
You
into the
think it's the
station,
actual ones
they said,
from
yeah, they said they
3D? Oh
found their new
shit.
home. It's to the point
Nice.
where some trolls, but funny Disney fan trolls, are commenting that one of the videos that Disney recorded to show them in their new home, they recorded it too high. So you could see the opening and the zipper behind their head because they were never meant to be seen that low because in the theater
Oh,
they're up higher. But in the coaster, it's perfect. But it's just this video that went out on Disney Instagram. And I just thought that was funny. But further proof that they just got relocated and found a new home. And they just kind of troll you and make fun of you as you're waiting there for your train to go to the station
I love it.
and saying things to you. Dad jokes. We got penguins in the studio controlling the all the buttons, and then you have Scooter, which is one of the latest animatronics, like one of the best.
Nice.
And it's not because it looks real or anything like that, like the Johnny Depp animatronic. It looks what they figured out how to do was make an animatronic that looks like it's being puppeted by somebody underneath with sticks.
I was
Like,
just thinking that I was like,
what?
I bet it's a lot easier to make an animatronic look like a Muppet
Yeah.
versus a human, but like even the movements and whatnot. That's pretty cool. I never thought
Yeah.
about that before.
It's really cool. And I thought they would have just made it into a full-on character, but it really looks like it's being puppeteered like a classic Muppet. I was very impressed with that. So yeah, Rock and Roller Coaster with the Muppets. We got a good song. We got Roller Coaster of Love, which is a
Say what?
Jennifer Hudson featuring the Muppets version cover of it. And it was just
Oh,
perfect for that ride,
yeah.
obviously. Even though I wanted the Blur song, I was happy I got the roller coaster song. It was cute.
What's the Blur song?
Song one, which is also the first on the playlist.
Oh, that's the one.
Woohoo!
Yeah, okay.
Woohoo! Which is perfect for Electric Mayhem and Animal. So yeah, there's that. And then other glow ups at Hollywood Studios, they just opened the animation courtyard. They soft opened it while I was there. And this is what used to be that little courtyard that was before Star Wars Launch Bay and also the Disney Junior meet and greets and like music or something like that. But it was always a dead area. We would walk right by it. Maybe every once in a while we would go like see BB-8, maybe twice we did. I don't know.
Right.
With Galaxy's Edge opened, nobody really went to Launch Bay. So they finally redid this. The whole courtyard is themed a lot to that that short that came out for the Disney 100th of Burbank Studios,
Mm.
Walt Disney Studios,
Once
where all the
upon a studio or
Once
something.
Upon a Studio, yeah. Basically, they took that and brought it to life in the courtyard. And it's
Wow.
just genius. It's so cute. It's subtle. It's a nice place to just relax. A lot of benches. They have like that Toontown grass over there so people can hang out and sit down. I've never seen it so busy and people like taking pictures and smiling and happy. And they have all these animated characters everywhere, like full on statues, colorful statues, and they're like some are accessible where you could touch them, some are like on the top of buildings, and they're all mixed and matched. Like you'll have a character from one movie mixed with another character if they're the same type of animal. So it's just a lot of cool stuff to look around and see. But not everything was open yet. It was just the courtyard itself. So the part that is going to be the experience is when you go into the building that used to be Launch Bay, and that's where they're going to have some photo ops with cool backdrops. And I think it's going to be a little bit like the DCA Animation Academy or what the Art of Animation. I don't know if it'll have all the bells and whistles that one does, but it's giving me that vibe. It has a big blue sorcerer out hat outside that says animation that looks just like the one in Burbank. So they did a good
Nice.
job there. But that also meant they took down that arch that said Hollywood Studios. Gone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right by the, isn't that by the Brown Derby?
Yep, yep.
Yep.
And now they
Hmm.
have a replica of the Walt Disney Studios Burbank entrance. So they did replace it with something that makes sense and not
Okay.
have both. And
Yeah,
yeah,
we don't need to
it looks
see
nice.
Hollywood Studios again.
Yeah, like
We already know.
that always confused me because it looks like the entrance of the park, but it's not
Yeah, yeah,
before.
it's kind
Yeah.
of weird.
So they got that. And then, my goodness, and I went over to Galaxy's Edge and rode the new Smuggler's Run, which I think we'll talk about when we get to Mando. Monstropolis construction walls are themed and up, and people are getting excited about that being built where Muppets Courtyard used to be. So Hollywood Studios, yeah, a lot of stuff happening there.
Good.
Um,
Nice.
Magic Kingdom, I didn't make it to Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, but I heard good things about the new show effects and a lot of Easter eggs to some of the old school Big Thunder Mountain in Disneyland, even like Rainbow Caverns and stuff. So I need to go back and
Nice.
check that out. I saw for the first time the Starlight Nighttime Parade.
Yeah.
Huh.
Uh-oh.
I forgot what I rated it in the moment, but after more thoughts, I would give it maybe a 2 out of 5.
Oof.
So this, I mean, it's hard to compete with Disneyland's Paint the Night.
I know.
It's just so hard.
Which
And
is
this
leaving
was,
soon.
oh no. And this is supposed to be the the sequel to Main Street Electrical Parade for Disney World, just like Paint the
Right.
Night was. Like they even have the music playing on some parts, like it'll play the old school Main Street music, Main Street Electrical Parade music, but it just wasn't it. Like it was giving me nighttime cavalcade pandemic. Like there was
Okay.
just it was
Oh,
mostly
geez.
floats. Yeah, mostly floats, a few characters on them, not many dancers, if any, in between the floats. So I think that was the biggest complaint that I was hearing from other people was between each float, you're just kind of sitting there and waiting, and they move pretty slow. Normally, there's like dancers and stuff in your face and spinning around.
Yeah,
So more of
that's
those would have been
weird.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, they need that because the floats are always, especially if you're at the tail end of the parade, forget about it. My
Yeah.
God, you'd be waiting there forever in between.
I'm like, okay. So yeah, it is what it is. I mean, if you need something to do, you can watch it. There's a new show at the Diamond Horseshoe called Jesse's Roundup. Also just opened. It soft opened on Sunday, but now it's open to the public. This is going to be a tie-in to Toy Story 5, which I learned is a Jesse focused movie. So love that for
I
Jesse the
did not
cowboy.
realize that until I also saw this. I was like, wait, wait,
Yep.
Jessie has her, okay.
And
Very cute.
I'm trying to stick to the Disney rules. You and I, are friends of someone who's friends with Woody, like the Woody that's in the
Yes.
show. And I
Yes.
got to experience them rehearsing and practicing and then
How cool.
seeing it on Disney Parks Instagram, the actual thing when it opened. And I'm like, I know that person. I mean, I know the friend of that
Yeah,
character. So it was so cool. Yeah. Seeing that come to life from the ground
that's
up.
so cute. Oh my
Yeah.
God, I would die to be able to see them
So
practice.
cool. Jesse's
That's so cool.
Roundup, a rip roaring review. We've
Very
got a
cool.
friend in it, was my note there.
We
Um,
got a friend in it. We got a friend in it. Or friend of a friend in it. Is that
friend of a friend. Animal Kingdom didn't go. It was too hot. And the day
Yes.
we planned, we just couldn't go. It was too hot. So didn't make it there. But I did have stuff that was on my list because Bluey, just like Bluey moved into Disneyland, Bluey is also now at Disney World via Animal Kingdom, where the Rafiki Planet Watch was, where you take that little train to the back. And they
Mm-hmm.
moved the Australian animals back there and then added more Australian animals. So most people didn't know that there were actually kangaroos near the Tree of Life in a little area, even though there was no continent land for Australia.
Ah, yeah, I was gonna say I don't even remember kangaroos.
Yeah, they were there just
Maybe I
hiding.
missed them.
Yeah, I think
Shoot.
most people do. So they moved him back there. They soft opened it, but they're not ready for people to do the walkabout yet because they said they want the animals to get comfortable and acclimate. So that's nice that they're taking care of the animals first before the
That is
people.
that yeah,
Yeah. And
that's
then
very
there's
good.
like some bluey stuff which I don't know anything about it. So I think that takes place inside where you can also see the like veterinarians working on the animals and things like that.
Oh, I wonder if they've replaced they had the I forget what it's called, Animation
Animation,
Academy, yeah,
yes.
in there.
I heard it's gone. I heard it's
Oh,
gone,
shoot.
which does help fuel the rumors that we will get one at Hollywood Studios in that place that we were just talking about, which would make more
That
sense, actually.
feels right.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be great.
yeah. So that's what's going on in Orlando. A lot of stuff happening.
Wow. Lots of stuff. That is good to hear. I'm always so focused on Disneyland and I like forget there's this whole other world out there of Disney parks. So it's good to
Yeah.
hear. Thanks for reporting back. Now we're gonna go to a galaxy far, far away and
Yeah.
talk a little bit about our friends Mando and Grogu. First of all, okay. Well, we were just in the park, so let's go right back in them for a second.
Yeah.
Um, The new adventures of Mandalorian and Grogu are in Smuggler's Run officially now. And
Woo.
you and I both got to go on them, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Um, First of all, what do you rate the new one compared to the old one?
Compared to the old one. Okay, so the old one to me was a 2 out of 5. I would,
Damn, really? Like
yeah.
today or ever?
Ever. Like I just walk by it. I'm just
Wow.
like, if I want to ride a video game, I'll just go to Dave and Buster's or something. But but now that I like the characters a little bit more and it's not just chasing after coaxium, even though it's still a little bit of a bounty thing, at least I get why it's a bounty thing. I'm gonna bump it up to 4 out of 5 with Mando
Okay.
and Grogu. Yeah. It's just I care about the characters a little bit more. And I think the other part is the interactions now for each role. Like the engineers get to pick, I believe, the location that you get to go to.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also a Grogu mode that they can try to get. And so now everyone has like something pretty decent to do. You got the people shooting the gunners and then of course the pilots.
Yeah, I heard that the pilot's position also got updated. You don't really do much different, but the handling on it is better.
It feels
Um,
like it felt both more sensitive, but still more control, giving me the feeling that I was actually controlling it, and like I had
Very cool.
lot was on lot was at stake. Like I didn't want to crash. I was doing the left and right horizontal one
Okay, so how many times did you go on it since it's been
just
a new
one
one?
time.
Just once in your
Yeah,
pilot.
pilots, and it was a
Okay.
walk on. It was like a 10-minute wait.
Right. That's yeah. Interesting because it's also very short. Like I can look right now, it's like Tuesday at almost 6 p.m. Let's see. And it just opened like what, 5 days ago or something?
Yeah.
And our current wait time is oh, 40 minutes on a
Okay.
Tuesday afternoon. That's
Interesting.
way more than Saturday night was. So, Saturday night around 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, I think it was only like, I think 15 minutes or
Wow.
something.
That's all. That's funny. That's the same time I went, but at Hollywood Studios, Saturday at 8.
Yeah.
And Friday when it opened, we couldn't even get park reservations. And when we were checking the wait times, they were very long. So I think everyone just like went on the first day and then it's back to normal. I'm not sure.
Wow. Yeah. Interesting. Um, I also like it better. I did not have my original rating that low. I just got bored of it though. Like I don't
Yeah.
Like I think my rating currently would probably like a 2/5 over for the last one, but I didn't start as that. But like, yeah, I just like don't. And also the walk, I was complaining about this, my
Yeah.
lazy ass. The walk to get into that ride is so long, and the only
Yeah.
reason it bothers me is because there's nobody in it,
Yeah.
right? So
Especially
it's
when
just
it's
like
a
you have to
walk on. It's
walk,
literally just a walk on.
and it's
Just walking and walking.
uphill the whole time, like just like slightly annoyingly uphill the whole way. And I'm like, is there a way to like cut down some of this walking for people. We're all walking already in Disneyland all day long. But I noticed that, their like line guides or whatever are purposely made to look like they're like tubes or some kind of like things you'd find in a mechanic shop, which is great, but they're actually made out of metal and they look like
Oh,
they're, bendable or not, but they're not. So like nothing in that line can they customize. Like other lines, they just take the clip off and move it. So then you cut like a whole
yeah.
section off the line when it's slow. That one, there's no way to do that. So you just have to, like, there's little times where you can, but not much. And so you just have to walk, walk, walk forever. So, why am I even saying this? I forget why I'm going off on this, but, uh,
I don't know,
oh,
but you know
because
what?
it's so long and there's nobody in it. It's just like, you're just,
When
why
there's
am
no
I
wait.
doing this?
The funny thing is, we were so spoiled. We walked after Millennium Falcon, we walked right by Rise of the Resistance. 10-minute wait.
Wow.
Saturday night. So there was something sus going on Memorial Day weekend. I think people were just like assuming it would be packed, and then it
Okay.
wasn't. Yeah.
Same
So I
here,
was like,
which
okay.
is also weird because Disneyland and Disney World don't track together at
Yeah, they
all.
usually don't. So
It
it's
was
10 minutes and we
dead,
didn't even
no
write it.
line.
We were like, oh, the walk is so long.
Yeah, yeah, that
So we're
long
like,
steep.
even at 10 minutes, I think that's just the time to get there, and that's why they're putting 10 minutes. I bet you it's a walk on. And we're like, eh. And we just kept going. But that one is still a 5 out of 5 for me. But I get what you're saying, where it's like, what a trek it
It's just
is.
so long. Yeah. Um, that's so weird that you mentioned that because here it was dead also. I don't remember what Rise was because it was too late to even go on it. Because they closed early, but we were sitting in front of Oga's Cantina, no line, just like
Wow.
wide open. I was like, what on a Saturday night? It wasn't late. It was pre-fireworks. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I was so upset because I dragged Samson's ass to go on his last day before the ticket expired during the week, and it was so crowded that we just like got over it at some
Whoa.
point. And I'm like,
Weird.
oh, would have never guessed that the Saturday of Memorial Day weekend would be the time to go, but I guess it was on either coast. So
Yeah,
weird.
I was really surprised, to be honest.
So weird. But yes, so the first time we went on it, we went with, I was with Fargo, and we went and we were trying to like get like pilot position. That's how the mindset you always go into
Yeah.
with that ride, right? And then we got paired up with these little kids, like, ah, they're gonna take pilot, whatever. The dad very nicely offered for us to, but we're like, no, no, no. And the little girl had like a birthday sash on. I'm like, I am not taking that from her on her birthday. So we let them have it, of course. But then we got engineer spot, and Fargo said to me, and I had forgotten, she goes, I heard that they did something different with the engineer position anyway. I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, cool. So we sat on it, and I guess it rotates back and forth, like it it's randomized as to who's going to get to select. Because we went on it twice, and I got to select both times, and we swapped so that she would get to select the
Oh,
second time, but then it was on my side again. Um, but it was the engineer gets to pick which three planets to go to, and one is Bespin, the other is Endor, and Coruscant.
yes.
And the first time I chose Endor, and we ended up in the Death Star 2 ruins, which I was like, why are we here? I was so confused. I'm like, I pressed Endor. And then I said something to the cast member, I was like, how do we end up there? And she goes, do you remember the remains of the Death Star 2 floating above Endor? I'm like, fine, whatever. But like, that's not Endor. Endor is like,
The
if
force,
it's floating
the
around
forest
it,
itself.
we're still like in Endor. I wanted to be with the Ewoks. Come on.
I
But
think that part threw me off because I heard the narration say we're going to Endor, and I was like, yes,
right.
that kid picked Endor, whoever was back there. And then yeah, I was thrown off. But it also reminded me, it made it feel more like Star Tours, like where you thought you're going somewhere and then you got interrupted by like something crazy. In this case, it was a destroyed Death Star. And the overall vibe was giving me more Star Tours than the original Falcon ride.
That
Yeah.
one very much so gave me the what's the new one with Kylo Ren in it? I forget the name of the planet, but you're going through the old ruins of some
Oh
stuff with the big
yeah.
waves. Something
Yeah.
about it made me feel like that one. Yeah.
That's neat.
We went to Coruscant the second time. That one was really fun because it's like the city, but like they were playing the Cantina band music, and
Ooh.
it was cute. It was like I know I like that one a little better. I did not get to go to Bespin, which our friends over at Skywalking Through Neverland told me was the best one. So I now have to go back and try Bespin. So now we're gonna be fighting to get the engineering spot. Like, what? Never thought that would happen. But
Now
yeah,
and
and
now
like,
I want to ride it more times to get the other two places that I didn't see
yeah,
yet.
yep. And speaking of that long line, the second time we went on, I asked if I'm like, is this single rider line shorter? Because like, we go all the time. We don't need to sit with each other, whatever. Like single rider, a shorter walk. She goes, much shorter. So we went and it is much shorter. There are stairs. So like I don't know how they get people upstairs that can't do stairs, but that was kind of weird. Um, but we took that, so it was a lot faster, and we ended up getting a whole cockpit just the two of us in the single rider line.
Interesting.
I was like,
Weird.
what? So anyway, we sat in the very back and did the engineer position so we could choose the planet again. So very, very cool additive to that experience for sure.
Did you know how and or unlock Grogu mode, and what is that?
No, Grogu's the same exact mode as the Chewie mode.
Oh, okay.
I think it's the same pattern as well. It's just you unlock before it used to everything was just in Chewbacca talk, and now everything's in Grogu, like coos and Oz or
Oh,
whatever.
okay.
Oh my God, fell
Oh,
for it. Look at you.
wait.
Ah!
I have a question for you. Uh, was there a pre-show before you get into, well, before you go into the cockpit where Mando comes on the screen and talks to you?
Yes.
Okay, they rushed us through that. Like he just came
Oh,
on the screen and started talking, and then the cast member was like, "Just ignore him. Don't listen to him. We gotta go." And I'm like, I
what?
thought that was part of the thing at first, and then
That's
later on, I
weird.
realized I think I missed half of what made this themed to Mando and Grogu, and I was mad. More
That is
reason to
very
write it again.
weird.
Yeah.
Gosh, sometimes I don't know. We did get to see, I stood back and we talked to a cast member for a little bit. I think it might have been the Death Star question I had. And we got to see the next cockpit open, and it was like one that was out of service and all the lights were on and stuff. It just looked so weird. We're like,
Ooh,
wow. And they're like, okay, bye. I'm
interesting.
like, damn it, I want to stare longer. I was like, whoa. That was funny. Um, and then after we got off of Smuggler's Run, we had heard that there is a new show added to the current projection show they do called Shadows of a Memory, a Skywalker saga. And it's called The Curious Child. So it's 3 minutes at the very end of that already long projection show, but it's cool. And it's called, yeah, The Curious Child, and it was basically a little cute Grogu moment up on the projections on top of the Black Spires. And he's, it was kind of cool because it started off with you hearing all these noises coming from the Millennium Falcon. It sounded like somebody was working on it, like engineering stuff, like, or
Oh, okay.
mechanic
Yeah.
stuff. And it was Djarin saying stuff to Grogu, like, "Can you not touch that?" or whatever. Because you remember in the movies, always
Oh,
like, "Don't
yeah.
touch those buttons." And Grogu is like playing with all the like nuts and bolts and wrenches and stuff, and he's making all these characters out of these shapes
Oh,
in
like
his
shadow care.
projections.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, it was cute. It was definitely cute. I think everyone should check out that projection show. Anyways, it's really beautiful. And then you get an extra bonus at the end of it now. So why not?
Sweet.
Yeah.
Ooh, you know what else Mandalorian Grogu has taken over is Bath and Body Works.
Yes.
And I'm always going there and getting the stuff, princess soap, villain soap, body wash, all the things. So I went to go check out what they have for Mandalorian and Grogu, and I
Okay.
learned a couple of things. One is I keep wanting to say Bed Bath and Beyond.
Everybody does.
Bath and Body Works has been trying to market and roll out to men, whether or not you like gender-based marketing, it is what it is. Like more masculine items to the point where the spray nozzle is different. It looks more like an Axe body spray where it's like a flat button with a hole
Oh,
and not the nozzle that we're used to. So I thought that was interesting. I saw there's a whole collection of like, like woodsy scents and stuff like that, charcoal, whatever. But this new collaboration fits perfectly in that section. So you have Mandalorian
okay.
Grogu. It's like black, golds, and greens and browns colors. They all use that new type of spray nozzle, and it is very, I would say, traditionally masculine scented things like woods and stuff like that. and I really liked it. In fact, I mixed the Dinjarin scent with the Grogu scent, and it smells so good. It
Huh.
reminds me of somebody that I like to be reminded of that is no longer in my life.
Oh.
It smelled really good, like that kind of good, like visceral, like that smells good. It wasn't cologne either. I mixed some of the lotion with the uh spray from Grogu and the Jinjarin lotion. And so I picked up a bunch of those things. The Grogu spray is like a really cool round bottle, and it comes in this very beautiful collector's tin. And they also have hand sanitizer holders, which I got one of those with Mando and Grogu on it. And I got all this stuff before I saw the movie because it was that cute. I was just like, oh, I want it. So yeah, check those out. Smell it. Good stuff.
So it's gendered to men. Is the smell also gendered to men? You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
Okay.
it's those the woodsy, earthy type of things that
Right. Okay.
usually when you go to like Sephora, they'll use those adjectives to describe the stuff that's like in the men's section. But it is for anybody. But
Right.
I understood what they were trying to do with this. I was like,
That's
okay, I get
interesting.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think it's not like I go there all the time, but I've never seen like a what's the word I'm looking for? Like end cap or like a big display of stuff for men
Yeah, this
ever.
feels new.
And like
Yeah.
that's like right when you walk in, that's all right in the middle, right? It's like big.
Uh-huh.
So that's cool. Maybe they're an excuse to do a real big push to get more demographics in. That's
Yeah,
cool.
exactly.
Nice. Okay. I am curious. I almost want to go there just to sniff on them.
Yeah, smell it.
All right. Well, speaking of Mando and Grogu, we saw the movie.
Woo!
So we're going to review it. I already saw your score that you gave it on Instagram last night. So you saw it just yesterday,
Just
right?
yesterday.
And I saw it over the weekend. I saw it on, what, Saturday morning or something. Um, and yeah, what did you think? Share with our listeners because I already know.
Okay, so 5 out of 5. It was giving Star Wars. It had all the ingredients of Star Wars adventure. And I think the thing that really took it over and brought it from like a 4 to a 5 was the score. The musical score was just so good. And it was already good from the TV show, but they just like took it up a notch to make it cinematic and they pumped it up like it was loud and it made me remember like Star Wars was originally a space opera, and so it's supposed to be like over dramatic and have these beautiful scores and transitions. And I don't know, it just felt like so Star Wars to be back in the movie theater watching something Star Wars was very, very cool. What was your rating?
So I was not a huge fan. I would give it like a 2 out of 5, probably.
Wow. Okay.
Couple reasons why. One, I didn't feel that this needed to be a movie. I felt it should have just been part of season whatever they're on, 4. Because I feel like any of these Star Wars movies that are making it to their own feature have like something that fills a void or a gap or a story element to the Star Wars, movie sagas, right? But this one was just like a standalone. It was just like, okay, I don't know. It didn't really do much. Maybe similar to Solo. I don't feel like Solo did too much either, or did it? I can't even remember. It's been so long, and I saw it
I
one
didn't care
time.
for Solo. I didn't need to know his backstory
Yeah, it
type of
didn't
thing.
add
Yeah.
anything, right? Like Rogue One did a lot for the Star Wars story overall. So, like, did Solo do anything like that?
I mean,
I
you
can't
find out
even
how he got
remember.
his name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, probably similar to Solo then is how I
Yeah.
felt about this one.
Although I will say Solo, because it didn't perform well at the box office, they didn't continue with the plan. It was supposed to keep going, and then you were supposed to see the underworld that Darth Maul was creating this criminal
That's right.
thing.
I want
So
more Darth Maul,
yeah,
please.
so
Ugh,
I think there was a plan for it to connect, but it didn't finish. Whoops.
dang.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I feel like a lot of what I love so much about The Mandalorian was missing from this film, at least for me. Like, the feels, I wasn't getting many feels, and I was like kind of annoyed. I did not like Rada. Let me just tell you, I did
Oh,
not
wow.
need to know him or his story at all. Like,
Wow.
why? No. I wanted to know more about Mandalorian and Grogu, but they were just kind of on another mission and completing their mission, and then it was just over. It's like, okay.
You know what's
Um,
interesting is what I'm hearing from not just you and me, but like everyone out there, the people that like it and don't like it are it's actually for the same reason. So the same reasons you're listing it is why I liked it. I liked that it was like every episode that I watch on Disney Plus, I remember saying, "Oh, I wish this was in theaters." Like sometimes they put Game of
True. I
Thrones in
thought about
theaters.
that too. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, so we got what we wanted. We got like a mega episode, shortened season in theaters, so it could go either way. Sometimes it could feel like, oh, well, it
Yeah.
should have been on Disney Plus. And then I also liked it because, and I think this is also Marvel's fault. I was tired of like trying to connect all the stories. I liked that this was just like a standalone mission with Mandalorian and Grogu, and I didn't need to remember what every single character and timeline was happening at this time and look for. There were Easter eggs, but I didn't need to like really look for them to get the story. But those are the same reasons why some people didn't like it. So that's interesting.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
feel like it just literally should have been the next season put into two episodes or three or whatever and shown in a theater. Like, I don't know. To me, like making it a feature film is like usually for a bigger reason, but it just felt literally exactly like the show to me. So I was like, okay, whatever. But I will say some of the CGI in this was kind of bad, which was weird because Mandalorian is so good. Like one of the things I
Yeah,
love
but
so much about Mandalorian is how good the CGI is. And there's some parts where I was like, what is even going on? Like Sigourney Weaver with her green screen, don't get me started. And then like it looks so fake when she was
I
in that
wonder if
X-Wing.
I wonder if that's a post-production thing. Almost everything was practical in this movie, and a lot of puppets, very little CG, practical sets. Everything was built.
So
Sigourney
that
Weaver
thing
herself
that
said she was like excited to be on set and not green screen
well, whatever they
because in
did, she's
Avatar
obviously
she
not
always does
flying
green
in
screen.
space, so something is created, right? Like it's not what's practical, the thing she's sitting in. Okay,
Yeah, and they
cool.
probably use that thing in the
That
back.
looked real, but
Uh, yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to correct that it wasn't CG, but there is issues with post-production or maybe the projection in the theater you are, where things can start to look out of whack.
yeah. I mean, even having like true motion on your TV throws everything off,
Yeah.
right? So who knows what's going on with theater to theater. But one of the worst parts for me was that at the very beginning with the Richard taught me this, Skywalking Through Neverland, shout out ATRT, I think, if I remember it correctly. It's the smaller walker guy that
Oh
he was
yeah. Dug,
riding
dug, 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 running.
and how he's going down that literally like steep ass, like almost impossibly steep hill, and he was still not falling over and tumbling. So impossible. It looks so bad, in my opinion. I was just like,
When I
this
was
looks
watching
so
that,
fake.
the first thing I thought is Jen is going to complain about the CG of this running robot.
Yeah,
It was the first thing I
yeah.
thought of, but I think it's because it when our eyes see something that don't exist, it's not going to want to accept it. And I think if they made it any
That's not
smoother,
true. I
it would
believe
look.
tons of fantasy shit that's
I
not
guess so.
possible.
I guess what I'm saying is like John Favreau, the director, wanted this thing to feel like a real robot walking. And I think when it does that, it's gonna look choppy, and then someone's gonna say it looks CG. So
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know what he would have done with that otherwise. But I noticed it
Have
when I
it
was running. I
not
noticed
such a
it.
steep hill. Have it not top heavy. I don't know. Like there's got to be there's physics, right? We still have physics in the world, even in Star Wars. Like
Yeah.
something
I
was
guess so.
off.
It's more to me like you have to suspend your disbelief sometimes in these kind of fantasy space movies.
They do so good with
So,
a lot of
I
the
mean,
other stuff
I
though
mean,
that
like
I'm
a
not
Star
willing
Wars
to.
movie, I wouldn't complain about the robot moving or somebody flying a ship. And those are your two complaints, which is
I have
fair. And we
plenty
can
if we
we
want to
can
keep going.
have our own. We get to have our own POVs. But I'm just saying, like, I can't dock it for that because I know what I'm watching. It's hard for me to say,
Okay.
like, oh, the dragons look so fake in Game of Thrones. Like, I don't know what a real dragon would look like in real life, type of thing.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I don't, that's not how I'm looking at it. I'm looking, it's fine, whatever. I don't even know how to explain what I'm trying to say. There's certain things in motion and the way things are animated or moving or whatever the fuck they're doing that it just doesn't look good. And there's ways to do it correctly. Like I think the dragons in Game of Thrones look amazing, at least at the time when they were first out, right?
Yeah.
But like, and I know dragons aren't real, right? And I believe stuff like that all the time. I believe in Chewbacca. He moves normal. He's a costume. It's much easier. I believe in lightsabers, like all these
Yeah,
things
I
that
just
look
there's like certain
amazing.
things that I don't know. Like you said, it's sometimes we just experience different things. Like there was, I remember we had a review of She-Hulk. I'm just remembering this right now. And there was a scene where there was a car accident, and you were saying it's so CG it looked bad, but they literally showed that the whole thing was a practical stunt.
I'm using
And
the
s-
wrong terms then,
and
because
so
it's
I'm like,
still
oh,
like live action Jungle Book, like, or not. Okay, I can't even think of an example, but there's a lot of stuff that's not quote unquote CG, whatever that is, that it's not actually real. Like, we didn't see Djarin riding that, whatever it's called, ATRT, down that hill, right? Something in there is fake. So, whatever you want to call that,
yeah.
that's
I think it's
whatever
the
it's not CG,
compositing. I think what you're talking about is the
then there we go.
compositing.
Okay,
So if I'm
compositing.
if I'm in a practical robot and it's moving around, and then they have to put that copy paste that onto the avalanche, then that's probably what your brain is rejecting. It's like
Yeah.
that's not there. But for the most part, like he was actually writing this thing and then they superimpose it, or what did I just call it?
It was probably sped up too or something. Something looked really weird about it. And that I can't imagine a real thing moving that fast. Do you know what I mean? Do you remember it? It was like rah, 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 down the
I
side of the
do. I was just like, oh,
hill.
he's running. I mean, it's like when I watch James Bond or like Mission Impossible. I'm not. There's certain times in a Star Wars, in any movie, where I'm just like, I have to suspend my disbelief. And there
Yeah,
are times where it's not good. I just didn't notice it in this one. But yeah, there's
yeah,
plenty of times in movies where I'm like, what the WTF?
yeah. Or also like anytime Grogu jumps, you just can't.
I see that doesn't bother me either, too,
Oh my God,
because I know it's
I've always
practical. I
hated
think
that
it's so
though.
cute. Yeah. And it's like, how does someone
Uh,
force jump? It always looks weird. Like even when Yoda did it. But Yoda did it, it was so CG because George Lucas was in CG world. At least what I love about Mandalorian is that it's all, not all, but it's so practical and they're like so proud of it. And I want to give a shout out to, you mentioned Richard and Sarah of Skywalking Through Neverland, because they did some interviews. There was like a fan interview with John Favreau and Dave Filoni, and they were asking questions along with a bunch of other fans. I was going to get an audio clip, but I'll just talk about it. And you could just see the pride and joy of John Favreau and Dave Filoni, like being able to have the keys of Star Wars handed over to them and lifelong fans, and then them saying what they missed about the Star Wars things when it was still George Lucas but not them, like sequel era and all that, and what they missed and how they brought it back. And the puppeteering was like a big part of that. So I thought, oh, that's so cool. But the music is what our friends from Skywalking asked. They said, "What did you think about the music, and how did you take a TV series music score and how can you actually up that for the cinema?" And so they got a really great answer, a long answer from John Favreau about the award-winning Ludwig Göransson, who is the score of the composer of this. And it's just so good. Like there's versions of the Mando theme that he did with different instruments, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so really cool. There was like this like techno beat that came in when they went down into that like underworld criminal city where the Huts hung out, and where Rada was fighting, doing his Fight Club thing. And the composer, not only did he do Mandalorian, he just won the Oscar for Sinners. He did the score for Sinners. He's also a frequent collaborator with uh, Childish Gambino, aka Lando Calrissian. So
yeah.
they do collaborations on his albums. He did Black Panther. He did Oppenheimer. So I was like, okay, no wonder. This guy is really good and different. Some composers, like it sounds the same every time and still good. Like I love like John Williams, but like Star Wars and Harry Potter, they all kind of sound the same. But this one, oh, I just thought it was really good. And for the first time in a while, like a cool new score to get excited about. And familiar because we already knew the Mando theme, but Well done on that one.
Yep. It reminded me so much of when I finish an episode of our podcast and I look up like trap version of Mandalorian on
Yeah.
YouTube, and then I find like these remixes that are the same tones and stuff we're familiar with, put to a whole nother rhythm, and
Yeah.
it was funny.
Did you stick around for the pseudo Cantina Band version at the end, the last song in the credits?
Yeah.
I thought that
Yeah.
was cute too. I was like, oh, where's this going? And then I was like, okay, I got to hear a cute version of the song, but I thought there was going to be post credit. Someone lied to me. Nick, I'm going to call you out.
Good.
Nick said
Finally
that
got Mike for once. Shit.
I stayed all the way to the end. I saw all the everything where it says like IMAX and like the logo comes up, and I'm like, there's nothing here. This is already done. The Disney's credits are already over. But which brings me to my one question for you is what format did you watch it in? Because I did watch it in IMAX, and sometimes that makes a difference. This was, they call it forged for IMAX. It was filmed with IMAX cameras.
We only watched it in like laser digital or something like that. I forget what it's called.
Ah, okay.
It's like some nicer version of a standard viewing, which is what I watch everything in most
Yeah.
of the time. Um, it was also the only one that we could do with our time. I was like very much had to
Oh,
watch this movie at that time or else nothing.
yeah.
Or else I wasn't going to get
Fair
to watch
enough.
this weekend. So
I do highly recommend if people are listening and they haven't seen it yet. This is one of those few films that are filmed for IMAX with IMAX cameras. So if you could check it out there, there's some scenes where it's just like, wow, like so big, like the fight scene with the giant white snake thing. It just looked like larger than life on IMAX screen. Very cool.
very cool. Sweet. Well, today we talked a lot about updates in the parks, both Disneyland and Disney World. And then we talked about Mando and Grogu taking over both the parks and the theaters and Bath and Body Works even.
And Bath and Body Works. Well, thank you all for listening. We hope you enjoyed episode 289 of the Disney Holics Show.
Follow us on social media at the Disneyholics.
And if you want to get in touch, send us a DM on Instagram or contact us at thedisneyholics.com.
Okay,
Okay,
bye.
bye.